What's going on, everyone? Today, we're diving into the recent acquisition of an experienced quarterback by the Chicago Bears that just happened a few hours ago. Now, I've been pretty busy running around picking up my kid from daycare and handling a few things at home. So when I finally made it to my studio, I ran into some technical issues, which is why the video quality might not be exactly what I usually aim for. But hey, we're rolling with it. This is the type of content that really pushes the importance of staying updated. No matter what's going on in life, we're still going to bring you the important videos when big moves are made by the team. So don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss any of the action. So about that experienced quarterback, let's rewind a bit. Earlier today, we were talking on a live stream about the possibility of bringing in a veteran quarterback. The conversation got me thinking, especially after recent podcast where we explored the idea of a mentor figure, someone who could not only step in as a capable backup, but also bring real leadership and experience to the table. This isn't just about signing someone who's a decent backup with aspirations to become a starter. This is about bringing in a player who's already had a solid career in the league, someone with great character who knows his role. And that's crucial because we don't want to add unnecessary pressure to the young quarterback who's preparing for his second year in the league. On top of that, the Bears have a positive outlook on their current backup quarterback, seeing him as a valuable asset to the team. So while the veteran quarterback may have the chance to compete for the backup position, the purpose of this signing goes beyond just adding competition. The real goal is to bring in someone who can serve as an extension of the coaching staff, particularly in the quarterback room, and help guide the young guys who are trying to develop. Now, one reporter who covers the team said that a source had shared with them that this acquisition would be a significant addition. And it's easy to see why. The intention behind this move is to strengthen the coaching staff at the quarterback position. This is going to be especially beneficial for Caleb Williams, but it's also going to give Tyson support, as both are young quarterbacks trying to find their place in the league. According to another source, this inclusion of the veteran quarterback will be extremely valuable for Caleb. An analyst who has been around the league for a while pointed out that Caleb has been having a promising preseason. With the arrival of Ben Johnson and an offensive line that's still under reconstruction, now reinforced by the presence of a respected player, things are looking up for Caleb. This veteran quarterback, who's nearing his 37-year mark, is being viewed with optimism. While he wasn't drafted and doesn't have any outstanding physical traits, he has managed to stay in the league for 13 years and is heading into his 14th year. That kind of longevity isn't just a coincidence. Players like him tend to thrive because they're great teammates, they're humble, and they don't carry egos that create distractions. He embodies the ideal of a backup quarterback, or even a third-string quarterback, thanks to his wealth of experience. His journey has been one of perseverance. He wasn't drafted out of the University of Houston and had to fight for a spot on the Texans roster. He started out with a dismal record of 0 wins and 8 losses in his early games. Imagine the kind of pressure that came with being thrown into a situation like that, completing just 54% of his passes in 2013. At that point, it didn't seem like he had much of a future in the league. But he kept pushing, and the next year, he got 2 opportunities to start, winning both games, before moving on to St. Louis, where he went 3-2 as a starter, improving his passing percentage and throwing 4 touchdowns with just 1 interception. The following year, after the Rams moved to Los Angeles, he started 9 games, finishing with 4 wins and 5 losses. In 2017, after primarily being a backup, he joined the Vikings. After an early injury to one of the starters, he took over the starting role for 14 games, leading the team to 11 wins and 3 losses, completing 68% of his passes, throwing for over 3,500 yards, and tossing 22 touchdowns against just 7 interceptions, taking the team all the way to the NFC Championship game. The chant from that season still echo in the minds of fans. It truly was a special year for him. He started 14 games that season, with a record of 11 wins and 3 losses, completing 68% of his passes, surpassing 3,500 yards, and registering 22 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. While we're not saying he was the sole reason the team made it to the NFC Championship, his leadership was undoubtedly a major factor. Now, don't get me wrong, He's not an elite player. Standing at 6 feet, with a decent arm and average skills, what really stands out is his intelligence and the respect he commands from his teammates. He's managed to stay in the league, earning a fair amount of money, mainly by being a solid backup, a great teammate, and a guy who really understands the game. There's even the possibility that he could transition into coaching if that's the path he wants to take. The following year, he received a decent contract offer. His team had finished the season with a 6-10 record, but he had started every game that year and then primarily served as a backup after that. He started 8 games that year, spent a couple of years as a backup for another team, and in one of those years, he was a mentor for a rising star. In his most recent season, he worked as the third-string quarterback, being surpassed by 2 other quarterbacks for the starting role. But teams value what he brings to the table, and he remains relevant in the league. His new contract offer was for 1 year, worth $3 million. Why the value? Because teams know what he offers. The management emphasized the need for a player who fits in well, someone who doesn't stir the pot, and he perfectly embodies that. He's fought for everything he's earned. He broke records at the University of Houston, didn't get drafted, found his way onto teams, and made plays. He's an exceptional backup and an ideal mentor to help guide a developing quarterback. He doesn't pose a threat to the starting role, and he's completely comfortable as a third-string quarterback. A 1-year, $3 million contract is a solid offer, and I'm confident the Bears will keep him on the roster, unlike last year when a player was cut only to be picked up by another team shortly after. This time, I have no doubt they'll keep him for the season, as he's a valuable resource who can step in whenever needed. There was a point where he was cut, and the expectation was that he'd return to the practice squad, but another team swooped in and signed him. It's highly likely that the Vikings will keep him around, and I fully trust that outcome. They'll retain their starting quarterback for the season, and this veteran backup will add significant value because he knows how to mesh with the team dynamics. The coaching staff has mentioned that they're counting on a young coach to make a significant impact on one of the quarterbacks. But this coach also participates in practice sessions and sets up extra preparations for the games when the players aren't around. This veteran quarterback could fit right in with the rest of the guys, acting as a bridge between the coaching staff and the starting quarterbacks. I'm really excited about that aspect. Personally, I don't know him very well, but we both went to the same college, and he's approaching 37 now, while I was 31 back in the day. I remember him from his high school days. He was a local legend in a town with about 130,000 people in the central part of Texas. He played for a different school while I was at mine, but we both grew up in the same area. In high school, he was breaking records and really standing out. Then he moved on to college, where he kept performing at a high level. Everything I've heard about him just reinforces his leadership qualities and how well he gets along with people. He was the guy everyone got along with, always down to earth. I think that's exactly what the team needed last year. Someone who had been through it all, who had been a starter with a successful track record, faced struggles early on, and worked his way into being a solid backup, even fighting for a spot on roster. He's done it all, played in multiple offensive systems, and gained invaluable experience along the way. This signing makes a lot of sense because he's not going to threaten the starter or the other quarterback. However, if the other player struggles in the preseason, there's a chance he could step into the second-string role, but I don't think that's the main objective here. The real focus is on adding an experienced presence to help both quarterbacks and integrate smoothly into the team dynamics. A player who doesn't bring any drama is always appreciated in a backup role, and teams prefer guys who don't create additional problems. This made me think back to when a certain player lost his starting spot, and many people thought that might signal the end of his prime due to concerns about his reputation as a teammate. Reputation matters in this league, and this player has a great one. There's no question about his character. Reactions from other players in the league only confirm this view, and it's clear from the analysis that he's known as a smart, high-character guy with ambitions that could lead him to coaching one day. If he decides to become a quarterback coach in the NFL, it wouldn't be surprising to see him rise to that role in just a few years. And if he chooses to coach at the high school level, there are plenty of schools in Texas that would welcome him with open arms. This situation reminds me of another athlete who was brought back onto a team after leading a high school to a state championship. I'm honestly excited about this addition. I don't want to oversell his importance, but it's important not to overlook what a great move this is for the team. The Bears made a strategic choice here, and I'd rate it as excellent. Without a doubt, having a player of his caliber would have been beneficial last season, and now they've secured this valuable resource for their locker room. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. A bombshell revelation has sent shockwaves through the NFL community, as strong rumors suggest that Hall of Famer Richard Dent has alleged that abuse of power was prevalent during his time with the Chicago Bears. The former defensive end, a key figure in the legendary 1985 Super Bowl winning team, has long been vocal about his criticisms of the Bears management, but these latest claims could paint an even darker picture of the franchise's past. Although Dent has yet to publicly elaborate on the specifics of these allegations, insiders speculate that they may be linked to the internal conflicts that plague the team behind closed doors. His strained relationship with former head coach Mike Ditka has been well documented, with Dent previously attributing the Bears' failure to win multiple championships to Ditka's leadership. If these rumors hold weight, they could further tarnish the legacy of one of the most celebrated teams in NFL history. The Chicago Bears organization has not issued an official response to the swirling rumors, but the speculation alone has reignited discussions about the culture within the team during the 1980s. The Bears of that era were known for their dominance on the field, yet tensions between players and coaching staff were often evident. Dent's exclusion of both Ditka and defensive coordinator Buddy Ryan from his Hall of Fame induction speech in 2011 was seen as a sign of lingering resentment. If Dent does come forward with detailed accusations, the fallout could be significant. The NFL has faced increased scrutiny over the years regarding workplace culture and treatment of players, and historical cases of power abuse could prompt new investigations. For fans and former teammates, these rumors have sparked mixed reactions, some expressing shock, while others recall past tensions that suggest there may be truth to Dent's claims. As the football world awaits further clarification, one thing is certain: Richard Dent's legacy with the Chicago Bears is once again under the spotlight. Whether these allegations lead to a deeper reckoning for the franchise remains to be seen, but they serve as a reminder that even the most successful teams can have troubling histories lurking beneath their storied triumphs. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.